morning to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Business Point here on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions around business, tech, innovation, as well as government policies. I am Queen Agaba. Today, we focus on a subject that's critical for every business looking to stay relevant, competitive, and profitable in today's marketplace. Strategic sales growth and embracing digital innovation in marketing. In the fast-paced digital era that we are in, selling has gone beyond just having a good or service. It's now about using smart, innovative tools to reach the right audience at the right time and with the right message. From social media marketing to AI-driven customer insights, businesses can now embrace digital transformation to unlock new levels of sales growth. So how do you position your brand to take full advantage of these innovations? Or what are the practical steps for integrating digital tools into your marketing strategies? And what mistakes should you avoid? What mistakes are you making and should you avoid? Well, joining me on the program is a seasoned expert in the field, Dr. Wisdom Enang, who is a senior energy analyst and also a business consultant. He would help us unpack these issues right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. It's Business Point here on Global Television. We're now joined by Dr. Wisdom Enang, who is a senior energy analyst and a business consultant. Many thanks for joining us on the program, Dr. Wisdom.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Today's fast-paced digital era, particularly now, selling has gone beyond just having a good product or service. It's now about using smart, innovative tools to reach the right audience at the right time and with the right message. Traditional marketing strategies alone are no longer enough, and then we need to set the stage for how we can proceed to, embracing innovation. How would you define digital innovation in marketing? And, why is it critical for sales growth?
Well, I think digital innovation in marketing has a lot to do with using the data of your consumers and using that to profile your consumers, using that to understand how to adapt your solutions to your consumers' needs. And I think there are a number of buzzwords when you talk about innovation in marketing. The first one would be, I like to say, the Internet of Things. The second one would be AI, and the last one will be big data. I mean, all of this connects together really in a very interesting way. For example, I mean, it is the data of your information that about your choices that you make on the internet. That will mean that minutes after you've just looked at a beauty product online, and just after you look at it, you go on Facebook, and Facebook is putting forward those ads towards you and asking you if you would like to purchase these items, or showing you somebody, a vendor, that has got deals to offer in that direction. So what does that mean? In a nutshell, that simply means that the world is evolving. It's not just to do some sort of front-end marketing, or business to business, or business to consumers. That's not the traditional marketing method. We will help you sort of convert your funnel, what I call your marketing funnel. What you want to do is to understand the psychology of your marketers, of your consumers, understand how to better direct the products for them, and then also understand the trends in what the evolution of the consumer choices are. That can help you to begin to strategically look at the future of your products and services as it pertains to the consumer choices.
So what are some of the, key digital marketing tools or innovations you believe small and medium enterprises should prioritize to boost sales?
Well, I mean, there are a number of, broadly, like I said, there's the issue of, looking at artificial intelligence. That's a very critical one. Within the artificial intelligence framework, I'm not very particular about talking about the tool in this instance. The reason is some of those tools are sort of bespoke, or some of those tools which by bespoke I mean they are developed in-house. And some of those tools are perhaps gotten outside from from different vendors that offer them online. But what is important is that we all need to turn to AI. AI not in the form of trying to use it to replace our minds or brains, which I see people do a lot, especially when it comes to writing and trying to prepare an essay. Rather, AI there should be some very clever things that AI can do for us. For example, if we want to understand consumer trends on a particular product in Nigeria compared to a neighboring country like Ghana, then AI can run that for us. It's got the data trends and a lot of that we don't have. Perhaps we don't store them. It can even mine data from other vendors using activities online to be able to know the best way forward in putting forward a proposal to whoever is asking the question. The other thing that comes to mind when you ask that question is the idea of even modernizing some of the traditional methods. And what I mean by that is simply, you have a consumer, and your consumer has come in and has bought a particular product. How well are you tracking the consumption of that product? For example, if someone has bought a consumables from me, and I know it's going to last 6 months by sort of 6 months time, there should be something on my system that says, we've taken the phone numbers because they are regular customers. Can we send them a reminder? Can we send them offers in this direction? So there are even very traditional things that we can do, but in a more innovative way. I mean, how lovely will it be if I bought, for example, diapers for the kids, and then I've got a shop telling me, oh, we've got this promo at the moment, thank you for always shopping with us, and we realize that your diapers might be running out and we've got this promo at the moment. So it sort of works on the psychology of the buyer as well as, or the customer, as well as, it helps you to innovate some of your very like traditional processes. And the issue of, for example, also getting feedback. I mean, marketing is not just from the business to the consumers. It is also allowing a free flow of feedback information. So as you're providing services, what do you improve upon? Is that essentially is another funnel of marketing. It's not social media marketing is not the only form of marketing. There are other forms. There's even sort of word of mouth marketing, which still works a lot. If people see that the products or services that you're offering is essential and solves a problem, and you treat them right, there might be the one marketing for you. So when I call for innovation of processes, it's not just because that's the only aspects that we need to look at. But for example, from a social media standpoint, like I said, and AI and all of that, we also need to innovate the entire business. That's really critical. So there are traditional things we can do. There are in-house tools we can develop. AI is still a very big one that I think if we turn to it, they'll be able to give us a very good, strong marketing position.
Many thanks for staying with us on Business Points. Dr. Wisdom, I believe you're still with us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. You mentioned that social media is not just the only marketing tool, means of marketing, but you'd agree with me that it's still one of the most accessible forms of digital marketing. But,
Absolutely.
Yes, and many people have failed to be able to convert engagement into actual sales. In fact, it's one of those platforms that people are embracing. But can you speak to us on how businesses can move beyond, likes and followers to actually driving conversions through platforms like, Facebook, Instagram, social media, basically, TikTok and all of that?
Yeah, I think, one of the key things when you're driving conversions has to do with the viability of your products is very essential. By way of that, when you're putting out your adverts out there, it always helps to get genuine feedbacks. For example, once I see a product that has been sponsored, the ads, one of the things that I go look at is I begin to look at the comments below. Or the comments, are they real? Are they from real people? Are they are they proof of that transaction? And how much engagement do they really have? Because I can tell when it is not kind of something that is natural. I can tell when it's an artificial sort of stuff. So perhaps you're getting so much likes, but there's no comments attached to it, or there's just something not pointing in a direction of a real customer that has benefited. So because the other side of what restricts people's potential when it comes to the success with social media marketing techniques is the aspect of who is genuine on the social media, who is of course not putting out another person's arts and flaunting it as theirs, and is there a verified track record that one could look at. So it always helps that if you're putting out ads there, you are verified by the website itself or by the company Facebook, Instagram. And even if you want to put your ads out there, make sure that there's some sort of physical shop or presence or avenue for someone to call and get clarifications. People want to perhaps their first buy. They want to be very careful. I mean, I've seen people that say, okay, look, if you're selling a product, I'm not going to transfer money. Rather, I will send a rider to you, and at that point, when the rider is there and inspects the products, I will pay and I can pick up. Those are ways to be able to do that, and make sure that some of those initial experiences that people have are perhaps trying to trust your business, and you can have maybe a video review that says, oh, I was able to find what I wanted. I was not sure if that business was genuine. This was how the business was able to give you some sense of comfort, and I was able to go buy products from them. But one of the techniques to achieve that is by giving them discount. You can say, okay, look, if you're happy with your service and you provide some reviews that will help our businesses, then we can give you 10 to 20% discount on your next product. And that, I'm telling you what companies even abroad have done. And so that way you can have video reviews, text reviews, you can even award different percentages of discounts depending on the sort of reviews, and use that to further boost your business. And how can you justify this cost of 10 or 20%? It is, you just take it as part of your marketing costs. The discount is a form of marketing fee, and that way you can have genuine feedbacks that could then go on to be part of your arts or part of your social media engagement, which will then allow you to convert a lot better. The other thing is when you're marketing to the right people. You do not want to have a product in Abuja or then someone in Benin and see your product. The likelihood is that when they engage you, they'll find out that maybe the cost of you sending to them might outweigh whatever your value propositions on the table. So it might be something to look at. Who are the right set of people? Have you set the right criteria? Are you marketing to the wrong set of people? Of course, you do not want to be marketing straight to people over 65. It might not sit well, and it may not be one of the priorities they have at the moment. So it's all about how you set your analytics. It's also all about how you make sure that there's a sort of holistic approach to growing, or very organic approach, as I say, to growing your marketing base, and also making sure that it's very genuine and that you're providing value. There is no form of marketing, no matter how good, that can market a very terrible product as the best product. It's not possible. So these are things to keep in mind.
Form of marketing can market a valueless product. Well, but still talking.
Can you hear me? The sound is
We apologize for that break in transmission. Many thanks for staying with us regardless. Dr. Wisdom Enang there, right there, walking us through sales growth and leveraging digital innovation. It is important to know that the road to strategic sales growth is continuous. Learning and adaptability are essential. Many thanks. I am Queen Agaba. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. See you again. Thanks for watching.